The National Electrical Code's Section 110.26 states that electrical equipment shall be installed in such a manner as to be readily accessible. Section 230.70 says overcurrent protection devices shall be readily accessible. Section 408.3 states panel boards shall be mounted in cabinets or enclosures and shall be provided with an accessible operating handle or lever. NFPA 70E Standard for Electrical Safety in the Workplace, Section 130.4 dictates that the electrical equipment shall be installed so that the topmost operating means is not greater than 7 feet or 2.1 meters above grade or floor level. This standard also specifies that electrical equipment shall be installed so that the bottommost operating means is not less than 18 inches or 45 centimeters above grade or floor level. The International Code Council (IC) recommends a height of 66 inches for electrical panels in residential applications. For commercial and industrial applications, the height may vary depending on the specific equipment and the needs of the user. It's important to note that the NEC does not explicitly specify a maximum or minimum height for electrical panels, but it does require that they be readily accessible. The NFPA 70E standard provides more specific guidance on height requirements. Therefore, when installing electrical panels, it is crucial to adhere to these guidelines to ensure both safety and compliance with electrical codes. Readily accessible means located so as to be easily reached without requiring persons to climb over or remove obstacles, or to resort to portable ladders, and so forth. Accessibility is paramount for maintenance, repairs, and in emergency situations. When considering the height of electrical panels, the primary concern is the ability to safely and easily operate the overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers. The NEC emphasis on accessibility ensures that qualified personnel can quickly de-energize circuits when necessary, reducing the risk of electrical shock and other hazards. The 7-foot maximum height specified in NFPA 70E is intended to allow most adults to reach the topmost operating means without the need for tools or equipment. Similarly, the 18-inch minimum height prevents operating means from being too low to the ground, which could be difficult to reach or become obstructed by debris or standing water. In residential settings, the ICC recommendation of 66 inches provides a practical guideline for panel height, balancing accessibility with space considerations. However, it's important to remember that local codes and regulations may have additional requirements or variations on these standards. For commercial and industrial applications, the specific needs of the facility and its users should be taken into account when determining panel height. Factors such as the type of equipment being served, the size and layout of the space, and the physical capabilities of the personnel who will be operating the equipment should all be considered. In some cases, it may be necessary to install panels at different heights to accommodate specific requirements or to improve accessibility for individuals with disabilities. It's always best to consult with a qualified electrical contractor or engineer to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. When planning an electrical panel installation, several factors need careful consideration to ensure safety, accessibility, and compliance with relevant codes. Firstly, understand the specific requirements of the National Electrical Code, NEC and NFPA 70E standards, as they provide the fundamental guidelines for electrical installations. While the NEC focuses on general accessibility, NFPA 70E offers more specific height requirements for operating means. Secondly, take into account the recommendations from the International Code Council (IC), particularly for residential applications where a height of 66 inches is suggested. However, remember that local codes may have additional or varying requirements, so always check with your local authority. Thirdly, in commercial and industrial settings, the height of the electrical panel should be tailored to the specific needs of the facility and its users. Consider the type of equipment being served, the layout of the space, and the physical capabilities of the personnel who will be operating the equipment. Fourthly, accessibility is paramount. Ensure that the panel is located in a readily accessible location free from obstructions, and that the operating means such as circuit breakers can be easily reached without the need for ladders or other equipment. Fifthly, the topmost operating means should not exceed 7 feet, or 2.1 meters, above grade or floor level, as per NFPA 70E. This ensures that most adults can reach the operating means without difficulty. Sixthly, the bottommost operating means should be no less than 18 inches, or 45 centimeters, above grade or floor level to prevent it from being too low to the ground and potentially obstructed. Seventhly, consider the potential need for accommodations for individuals with disabilities. In some cases, it may be necessary to install panels at different heights or to provide additional accessibility features to ensure that everyone can safely operate the equipment. Eighthly, always consult with a qualified electrical contractor or engineer to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards and is safe and functional for its intended use. Ninthly, proper labeling and clear instructions are essential for the safe and efficient operation of the electrical panel. Ensure that all circuits and components are clearly labeled and that users are aware of the proper procedures for operating the equipment. Tenthly, regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for ensuring the continued safe and reliable operation of the electrical panel. Schedule regular inspections by a qualified electrician to identify and address any potential problems before they become serious. By carefully considering these factors and following the guidelines outlined in the NEC, NFPA 70E, and other relevant codes and standards, you can ensure that your electrical panel installation is safe, accessible, and compliant with all applicable regulations. Ensuring safety, accessibility, and compliance in electrical panel installations involves understanding and applying various codes and standards. The National Electrical Code, NEC, and NFPA 70E are pivotal, with the NEC focusing on general accessibility and NFPA 70E specifying height requirements. Recommendations from the International Code Council, IC, particularly for residential settings, suggest a height of 66 inches, but local codes may introduce variations. In commercial and industrial environments, tailor panel height to the facility's needs, considering equipment types, spatial layout, and personnel capabilities. Accessibility is key. Panels should be in easily accessible locations, free from obstructions, with operating means reachable without needing ladders. The highest operating point should not exceed 7 feet, or 2.1 meters, as per NFPA 70E, and the lowest should be at least 18 inches, or 45 centimeters, above the floor. Also, consider accommodations for individuals with disabilities, potentially requiring varied panel heights or extra accessibility features. Consulting qualified electrical contractors or engineers is vital for code compliance and ensuring safe, functional installations. Clear labeling and instructions are crucial for safe operation, and regular inspections by qualified electricians are essential for ongoing safety and reliability. During electrical panel installation, ensuring code compliance, safety, and accessibility requires diligent attention to detail and adherence to established standards. Firstly, a thorough understanding of the National Electrical Code, NEC, is essential. The NEC provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations, covering various aspects such as wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. Familiarize yourself with the specific requirements relevant to panel installations, including those related to clearances, working spaces, and equipment ratings. Secondly, NFPA 70E, the standard for electrical safety in the workplace, plays a crucial role in ensuring the safety of personnel working on or near electrical equipment. This standard provides guidance on safe work practices, personal protective equipment, and hazard assessment procedures. Adhering to NFPA 70E helps minimize the risk of electrical shock, arc flash, and other electrical hazards. Thirdly, accessibility is a paramount consideration in electrical panel installations. The NEC requires that electrical equipment be readily accessible, meaning it should be located so that it can be easily reached without requiring persons to climb over or remove obstacles, or to resort to portable ladders. Ensure that the panel is installed in a location that provides adequate working space and allows for easy access for maintenance and repairs. Fourthly, the height of the electrical panel is an important factor in ensuring accessibility. While the NEC does not specify maximum or minimum height, NFPA 70E provides specific guidance stating that the topmost operating mean should not exceed 7 feet or 2.1 meters above grade or floor level, and the bottommost operating mean should be no less than 18 inches or 45 centimeters above grade or floor level. These height requirements are intended to ensure that the panel can be easily operated by most adults. Fifthly, proper labeling and identification are essential for safe and efficient operation of the electrical panel. Clearly label all circuits, breakers, and other components to indicate their function and voltage. Use durable, legible labels that are resistant to fading or damage. Sixthly, grounding is a critical safety measure in electrical panel installations. Ensure that the panel is properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault currents, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Follow the grounding requirements outlined in the NEC, and use appropriate grounding conductors and connectors. Seventhly, overcurrent protection is essential for preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Install appropriately sized circuit breakers or fuses to protect each circuit in the panel. Ensure that the overcurrent protection devices are properly rated for the connected load. Eighthly, wiring methods and materials should comply with the requirements of the NEC. Use appropriate wiring methods for the environment in which the panel is installed, and ensure that all wiring is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Ninthly, regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for ensuring the continued safe and reliable operation of the electrical panel. Schedule regular inspections by a qualified electrician to identify and address any potential problems before they become serious. Tenthly, documentation is essential for maintaining a record of the electrical panel installation and any subsequent modifications or repairs. Keep accurate records of the panel specifications, wiring diagrams, and maintenance history. Proper documentation facilitates troubleshooting and ensures that future work can be performed safely and efficiently. By carefully considering these factors and following the guidelines outlined in the NEC and NFPA 70E and other relevant codes and standards, you can ensure that your electrical panel installation is safe, accessible, and compliant with all applicable regulations. When installing electrical panels, compliance with codes and safety standards is paramount. Begin by thoroughly understanding the National Electrical Code, NEC, which provides essential guidelines for electrical installations, including wiring, protection, and grounding. Next, adhere to NFPA 70E, the standard for electrical safety in the workplace, which emphasizes safe work practices and hazard assessment to protect personnel from electrical dangers. Ensure easy accessibility to the panel, following NEC guidelines that require it to be reachable without obstacles or portable ladders, with sufficient working space for maintenance. Consider the panel's height. While the NEC lacks specific measurements, NFPA 70E advises that the top operating component be no higher than 7 feet or 2.1 meters and the bottom no lower than 18 inches or 45 centimeters for comfortable operation. Accurate labeling of circuits and components is crucial for safety and clarity, using durable labels that resist damage. Ground the panel correctly to offer a low impedance path for fault currents, minimizing shock risks, and follow NEC grounding guidelines. Install correctly sized circuit breakers or fuses for each circuit to protect against overcurrent and prevent equipment damage or fires. Use NEC-compliant wiring methods suitable for the panel's environment, ensuring proper support and protection from physical damage. Implement a schedule for regular inspections by a qualified electrician to catch and fix potential issues promptly. Lastly, maintain thorough documentation of the installation, including specifications, diagrams, and maintenance records to aid in troubleshooting and future safe work. Through these steps and adherence to NEC and NFPA 70E guarantee a safe, accessible, and code-compliant electrical panel installation. The installation of electrical panels demands a comprehensive understanding and meticulous adherence to established codes and safety standards. Firstly, it is crucial to have a strong grasp of the National Electrical Code, NEC, which serves as the cornerstone for electrical installations. The NEC provides detailed guidelines on various aspects, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. Secondly, NFPA 70E, the standard for electrical safety in the workplace, plays a vital role in ensuring the safety of personnel working on or near electrical equipment. This standard outlines safe work practices, personal protective equipment requirements, and hazard assessment procedures. Thirdly, accessibility is a paramount consideration during electrical panel installations. The NEC mandates that electrical equipment be readily accessible, meaning it should be easily reachable without requiring individuals to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders. Fourthly, the height of the electrical panel is an important factor in ensuring accessibility. While the NEC does not specify a maximum or minimum height, NFPA 70 provides specific guidance stating that the topmost operating mean should not exceed 7 feet or 2.1 meters above grade or floor level, and the bottommost operating mean should be no less than 18 inches or 45 centimeters above grade or floor level. Fifthly, proper labeling and identification are essential for the safe and efficient operation of the electrical panel. All circuits, breakers, and other components should be clearly labeled to indicate their function and voltage. Sixthly, grounding is a critical safety measure in electrical panel installations. The panel must be properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for fault currents, reducing the risk of electrical shock. Seventhly, overcurrent protection is essential for preventing damage to equipment and reducing the risk of fire. Appropriately sized circuit breakers or fuses should be installed to protect each circuit in the panel. Eighthly, wiring methods and materials should comply with the requirements of the NEC. Appropriate wiring methods should be used for the environment in which the panel is installed, and all wiring should be properly supported and protected from physical damage. Ninthly, regular inspections and maintenance are crucial for ensuring the continued safe and reliable operation of the electrical panel. Tenthly, comprehensive documentation is essential for maintaining a record of the electrical panel installation and any subsequent modifications or repairs. Accurate records of the panel's specifications, wiring diagrams, and maintenance history should be kept. By carefully considering these factors and following the guidelines outlined in the NEC, NFPA 70E, and other relevant codes and standards, a safe, accessible, and compliant electrical panel installation can be ensured. Achieving a secure, accessible, and compliant electrical panel installation requires a detailed understanding of several crucial elements. Firstly, the National Electrical Code, NEC, provides fundamental instructions for electrical installations which include wiring, overcurrent protection, and grounding. Secondly, it is essential to be familiar with the standard for electrical safety in the workplace, NFPA 70E, as it focuses on safe work practices, hazard assessments, and the appropriate use of personal protective equipment to safeguard electrical personnel. Thirdly, it's crucial to make sure that the electrical panel is readily accessible as required by the NEC. This means the panel should be installed in a location that is easily reachable without any obstructions or the need for special equipment like ladders. Fourthly, the installation height of the electrical panel is a critical factor. While the NEC does not specify exact height limits, NFPA 70E advises that the highest operating component should be no more than 7 feet or 2.1 meters above the floor, and the lowest operating component should be at least 18 inches or 45 centimeters above the floor. Fifthly, proper labeling and identification of each circuit, breaker, and component are necessary for safety and ease of maintenance. Sixthly, effective grounding of the electrical panel is essential for safety. This ensures a low impedance path for fault currents, which minimizes the risk of electrical shock and equipment damage. Seventhly, selecting and installing the correct overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers or fuses, is vital to prevent damage from overloads and short circuits. Eighthly, it is important to choose and use appropriate wiring methods and materials that comply with NEC standards. Ninthly, schedule regular inspections and maintenance of the electrical panel to identify and address any potential issues early. Tenthly, maintain comprehensive documentation of the electrical panel, including detailed records of the installation, specifications, and any maintenance or modifications performed. By carefully following these guidelines, the safety, accessibility, and code compliance of the electrical panel installation can be guaranteed.